Hey guys, welcome to the Harmonix live stream. Apologies for the delay. This is our very first episode. We're just kind of figuring things out here on the fly with the extremely professional Eric Pope. Pope, yeah, a lot of squawking from behind the knobs there, but doesn't make any difference to you guys. You've just been sitting here wasting your time waiting for us to start. But now we're ready. So let the good times roll. The show will get much better from here. I promise. Cannot make that promise, but things should hopefully get better because we have a titan of a special guest today. I'm going to build him up. I've said this for the last couple of guests that we've had, but this time it's really true. Forget Sussman, forget Iran. Today we've got a real guest for you guys, and we'll get to him in just a minute. But first, want to recap. We've done a couple shows recently. We did a Rock Band anniversary show last week, and we're going to be doing a Dance Central anniversary show in the next couple of weeks, potentially next week. We don't know because we're bad at planning. But for this week, we are going to continue a series of Disney Fantasia Music Evolved shows. So for those of you watching, you've got that to look forward to. I am going to now back away and sit down, and Pope is going to transition to the set. Yeah! It's always so impressive every single time we do it.
That's tech.
I never think it's going to happen, and it always does.
It's a Christmas miracle.
That's consistency, Pope. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
We're doing awesome.
Annette, all the way at the end there, you okay?
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably doing so good because we've got Sasso here on the show.
He is the best.
He is.
We're so happy to have
You
him.
guys are too kind.
Well,
Thank you so much for having me
because we know you.
in this lovely studio.
Oh, it is. It's palatial. That's really the only word for
Excellent description.
So for those of you not fortunate enough to know Sasso, Mr. David Battilana at Harmonix professional.
Yes.
Is what I'm going to say.
Wow,
How about,
that's kind of you.
Well,
I've been here for a while, that's
yeah,
for sure.
Sure. Yeah, tenured Harmonix professional.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right, I'll take it.
Good enough?
I mean, it doesn't sound like a Titan title, but
No? Wow.
No.
Okay, I'll work on it. I'll see if I can
yeah.
spin it up before the end of the
would
show.
you?
So what do you do here at Harmonix?
I am an artist here at Harmonix, and my current role is the art lead of the Fantasia Music Evolved title.
So it's convenient that you're here.
It's just so
for
happens.
a show dedicated specifically to
It's like
Fantasia.
we did it on purpose.
That I would not give us that much credit, though. That would have required any amount of forethought or planning whatsoever, which is not our style, as people watch the show could definitely tell you. So you've done a bunch of different stuff for the Dance Central games. How have we not had you on the show before to talk about Dance Central stuff?
I refuse to come on.
Refuse to come on.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
True professional.
Yeah.
Do you want to give people a little bit of background on what you've done prior to Fantasia stuff?
Sure.
Just the highlights.
It's all highlights.
Oh, it's all highlights.
It's all highlights.
Pope, do we have a highlight reel queued up? No? That's the highlight reel.
Usually
Good
I would
save.
give my... So, usually I'd say something before the applause kicks in,
Wow.
but... So I've worked on a bunch of games here. I started right after the original Guitar Hero shipped, and I worked on an unreleased title right away.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, good times. And then I worked on Rock Band 2, Rock Band 3, Dance Central 2.
Just like 90
just-
plus Metacritic titles.
It's all
boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
gravy. It
Yeah.
was just all, nothing but gravy for me. I come in, smooth sailing.
All right, good.
So a lot of great titles. I had different roles on different ones. I started as an environment artist, working on the venues for Rock Band. and then shifted off and became a lead artist on Dance Central 2. And that was a really great experience. Working on that title was a lot of fun. The team was, what the fuck? And then I got to work on Fantasia, which I've been working on for a little while now.
Almost 10 years. you were
Almost
saying,
10 years on.
It's been quite a while.
Well, on like some of the stuff that you showed in other shows, the Lovebirds demo and like.
Good callback. Good
Yeah.
callback.
Oh yeah, old school shows. The hits.
Digging deep into the archives.
No, that was a lot of fun. That one was a lot of fun to work on.
So you've watched the show?
I'm
Oh,
a big
wow.
fan. Huge fan.
Oh, that's
Thank
good.
you.
I mean, look at these.
Yeah, gonna give myself one of those.
Yeah, we've
Feel
also
like I
called
earned
you
that one.
Sasso a couple times, and it's on your name card that's shown up a couple times. How
That's
did you
true.
get that nickname?
I can't tell you.
Mm,
I wish I could.
awfully secretive there.
It's a bizarre sex thing, so I
yeah.
can't get into it on the air here.
Nope,
you know,
say
like,
no more.
The kids.
Let's
Family
go.
show.
That's a
Yeah,
hard
family
cut to our
show.
Disney gameplay. That'll be.
No. It's an old game name that I had, so it's been abbreviated down. It was Mrs. Sassy Pants originally,
All right.
which then it went to Sassy, and then I decided to man it up a little.
Sasso.
So I put the O
I get
on
it.
the end. And
Well
I've been
done.
running with that for a while.
Wow. So we're learning a little bit on the show here
you are.
too.
This is for you.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
nice.
like I need to enlighten.
Exclusives.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah, hard hitting news here on the Harmonix live stream.
Yeah, it's not that crazy actually.
No, that's. I
Unfortunately.
kind of wish you had just left it. Left
I
it
know,
a secret.
it wasn't that good.
No, I'm totally underwhelmed.
What do you want? I'll tell you. My good story is my current game name.
Oh, okay.
Creek Breeder.
Creek Breeder. That
Which-
does sound like a
Yeah,
sex
we
thing.
update-
You can search that on the internet and you won't find anything showing. Don't search.
Don't
it.
search
Don't search.
that. Don't punch that into any electronic device.
That is a good story, which I won't tell.
No, please do not. That's perfect. Perfect. Moving right along. We brought you on specifically so you could talk about a bit that we're going to be showing off called Spirit Desert.
Yes.
This is kind of continuing the trend you had mentioned that we did the Lovebird stuff and Mood Lake. For people that watched the show previously, you saw those. If not, they're on the YouTube channel, correct, Pope?
They will be.
Yeah, they're gonna be. We're gonna put stuff on our YouTube channel, so you can watch those if you haven't already. But this is really the show that people want to watch. This is gonna be the best of the three. Easily the best. So you had said earlier, a little peek behind the curtain before we started the show. You had mentioned that Spirit Desert is about a year old.
Yeah, I think we finished it in end of September, early October of last year. We finished this demo up. And it was sort of our first foray into blending the narrative aspects of Lovebirds into a more gameplay-centric progression and some of the interactive elements that we would later build the whole game from. So it's got a little bit more of what's in the shipping version than Lovebirds.
Yeah, getting closer to where we're at now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. But still, early
Miles
gameplay,
away.
Miles away. We've been
Trust
working on the
me.
game for a year since then. A lot of stuff's changed. A lot of stuff's different. But we want to give you guys a little taste of the behind-the-scenes action. Do you have anything else you want to add? Set the video up before we start rolling, Pope.
Boy, I don't know. Let's take a look.
No, I don't care what you have to add. Just,
What do you? Yeah. What do you
just say
guys
your
want?
name,
What do
make
you
sure
want?
you're paying attention. You know.
I'm great.
Oh, Pope's
No.
great. Everybody, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, so I think we'll roll the clip and then you guys get to watch it and we'll roll it again with commentary and I'll talk a little bit about it. How's that sound?
That sounds great to me.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
In agreement?
What? Yeah.
It's a wonderful.
Hooray!
So for those of you just joining us, that was a sneak preview of Fever Dream, our new kind of it's peyote inspired.
It is.
It's kind of like a spiritual. It's a vision quest.
It is,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It's a run from past to future
Yeah,
Yes,
through the minds of the spirits of the desert.
that's beautiful.
really nicely put.
Wow. We should just end the show right there. It's
don't
not
think
going to
we
get
can do
any
any
better.
better.
No,
Hope.
it won't.
Wow.
No, but just to note, that was like a super cut of what the actual progression through that level is. So you might notice a little bit of jumpiness, but we needed to remove some things
Yeah.
for time and
Secrets.
general secret stuff that we're not talking about yet that actually is in the game. So that's pretty much it. We can actually watch it again now with colorful commentary.
I can't wait to talk in front of
Woo!
Yeah. No, and you've got like a whole minute and a half to just
To
really
just talk about as
cover
much as you
everything.
can.
We can do it slow-mo.
Yeah, Pope, do you want to just slow it down?
Could you drop the slow-mo on
Stretch it.
this?
This is about all I can do. Is like make you miniature.
Stretch it out.
Put you on a coffee cup.
Well, we've got that.
Can't make things slow mo.
As long as we've
All
got
right.
that.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
We'll do
So
what we
comfy.
can.
Let's get going.
Let's roll it. Let's
Oh yeah,
roll it.
no, I guess we'll roll it again.
Okay, here we go. All right, so right off the bat, we've got the main character that we were working on here. Similar to the birds and lovebirds, we wanted to have a narrative character that would thread through, but we wanted it a little bit more interactive. You can see the cursor moves around here, and his head will actually follow, and he'll respond to it. And then the idea of these manipulators basically was that you would be able to zoom into objects in the scene, pull out a piece of music, then edit it using your hands, moving them around, and then replace it back in, and then change the behavior of the object depending on how you had rearranged the music itself, which is pretty cool. And you could see that represented in the waveforms themselves.
Yeah,
So,
much more interactive, kind of personalized version of what we had already seen in Lovebirds.
yeah, exactly. The idea here being that we wanted to get a lot more of the you create music and it changes the scene for yourself, which is a theme that comes up much more in the current versions of the game. That you're changing it as you want to, basically, and as you decide to play through.
So here's sort of the final transformation.
Yeah, when we were building this one as compared to Lovebirds has a progression through it, through different stages, but you can't really change how it looks. Here we added these objects in the back, those totems in the ground that we were calling them mix switches, that would allow you to change the background music and change the visualization of the scene as you wanted at different times. So you'd basically walk through it, we would unlock each one along the way, and then give you the chance to go back to different states that you wanted to see. So if you're oh, I like that peyote-induced sleep world, you could go into that dream world and listen and play with the stuff that was in there. And we'd have different musical toys that only existed in certain ones.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea that we were able to use.
And from the art perspective, the idea that the entire environment changes over the course of the song, that's always been that's been one of my favorite parts of showing Fantasia. And it's something that we've been able to show off in the Shoal and in the press when we've done demos at E3, stuff like that. For you guys on the art team, being able to do stuff like that isn't just kind of a static Dance Central venue or another underground rock club for Rock Band. This has to be a a really cool opportunity for you guys to stretch a lot of muscles you haven't been able to in the past.
Yeah, mostly because we had more freedoms in terms of that. Like with Rock Band, we were always doing it, but only in terms of like a stage show. You
Yeah.
know, like being able to like tie the stage show to different points of the music and have it really transform it in that way. And then in Dance Central, we would jump you from location to location. So it'd be like around the train, inside the train, outside of the train, or different spots, which was cool too to give you like more of a varying view. Here we decided we would give the player a little bit more control over it and have them actually trigger changes to happen to the world like right in front of their eyes, which, you know, honestly is the cool part. When you see the whole lighting rig sort of change and you're in control is like a lot more exciting than it just being like automatically triggered and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And we had a lot more freedom to do different stuff. So like in here we were doing things with effects. The last stage here that you see up in the corner, like it goes lush. Basically you're rejuvenating the desert back to like full of life and stuff where these guys used to live and like these spirits used to have their homes and stuff. So you could show it like wasted away 1,000 years forward, 1,000 years back. So we sort of opened up the ability to do like weather, just time of day, time of year, stuff like that, which we later on were able to build into like a lot of the different venues and scenes that we had.
So the venues themselves evolve as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I think of it
Pretty
a
good.
lot. Not too bad. You guys are
Yeah, well,
professionals.
Not our first show.
No.
We said it was our first show,
Live.
but that was live. That was live.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought I was the first guest.
Well, this is the beginning of the real show.
Oh.
Everything's just been preamble up until this.
Iran's
point.
a good warm-up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, just
That's all, yeah.
he's our fluffer.
He's my fluffer.
So Annette, you had been doing demos of this game pretty consistently, and you've been showing off some of the venues that people are already seen. You actually did a show this past weekend where you dusted off some of the older venues.
So yeah, we went to San Francisco this weekend, and we were part of Day of the Devs, which is an event hosted by Double Fine and I Am 8-Bit. So it was a really cool event, a lot of indie games there that everyone was showing off the really cool stuff they were working on. So we got a chance to show Fantasia, which was really cool, and we brought the Shoal with us, which is the realm that we were showing at E3. Got a lot of coverage. It's the underwater world that you might be familiar with if you've been keeping up with stuff. So that's like one of the realms that we've shown up to this point, along with the press, which is the industrial printing press with a really cool robot sort of running around in it, and then the Haven, which is sort of the wintry world with really cute creatures in it that you sort of bring to life with music and different interactions, which has been really, really cool. And it's been really neat to show everyone just sort of the different art styles that are reflected across all of them. So like similarly to the prototypes we've been showing on the live stream lately, they are very different in art styles, and we haven't shown a lot of it still that's also like branches into more art styles that are really different. So what's that been like?
I think that's been one of the best things about working on this game and the property in general is the freedom that it allows like the artist as they work on each scene. When they're working on the original film, like it was, you know, part of the reason they were doing it was to sort of alleviate the boredom that some of the artists would have from working on like single film through the duration.
Yeah.
It was sort of like a treat and allowed them to sort of expand and try out different settings, different styles and stuff that suited each of the individual like art teams and stuff. And the same is true here. We're able to like delve a little bit deeper into some stylistic changes per venue because we're not running an entire game on it. You know, like in like isolation you can sort of get a little bit crazier because these are sort of set pieces and like they don't have to cross over as much. You don't have crossover characters as much. They like all exist within their own realm. So in the ones you were talking about, we're like doing.
Yeah.
We have pictures.
So here's an example of a transformation state in the shoal. So you can see it's kind of dark, and then as you interact with the environment, you can bring some color and stuff to life.
Yeah, sort of like a murky underwater scene, and then the sort of clarity, like the sun hitting these things. And we get a little surreal with some of those changes that happen. They're not all just literal time of day or something like that. We sort of take some liberties and push it out a little bit more. Oh yes, this is a good one. Crustacean concept. I think he has a name now. I'm not sure what it is though. I don't want to spoiler it with like some kind of terrible like creek breeder.
We'll have a formal reveal around it.
Breeder.
But here, like, you know, as you could see in that previous screenshot in there, we're sort of bringing this carnival of sea to life a little bit. That you start with a very mundane and regular, and then like over time, like the illumination comes up on it. But then we push it a little bit so that the saturation of the scene is increased over time until it's like sort of vibrantly full of life and stuff, which is cool. And then in sort of the what is it, Forest 2, the Haven?
Or is that some throat clearing of some,
Haven.
get on message, throat clearing?
Haven. That like we have like this snow scene that starts off like dark, and then we actually like blow out the lighting to be almost like a snow blind sort of setting towards the end.
Yeah, it's like really cool lighting changes in that one. Which
Yeah,
is
that
lot
one's
of
a little
fun.
bit more unusual than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I think we have some more.
Oh yeah.
A really sweet shot of the turtle in the
Turts.
shoal. The turts.
Turts the Turt. No, he has a name
He
too.
probably
I
has a
swear
name too, I'm
everyone has
sure.
a name. Yeah, so like, whoa, here's the
There's
why.
a full
I
panorama
Yeah,
that
well,
covers.
wait, it's like
Nice.
Kilroy style. Yeah, I actually like, because the levels are all created of like multiple scenes, you step left and step right in them. We actually have different cameras that do like convex or concave curves, or some of them are straight horizontal, and that gives us different effects sort of in the scene. But it was originally like designed as like a throwback to the camera systems that they used in the original film to call like these huge parallax sliding images. And if you see in Spirit Desert, one of the things we were doing was there's like all these caves along the side, and it sort of the vanishing point is dead center. And we actually moved away from that because it had us having to tilt the cameras left and right, which didn't really feel to the spirit of the original movie, which was always, you know, panning sideways or trucking in and out and stuff. So we shifted a lot of them, so you'll see the movements are always consistently like diving into the scene and diving straight out.
That's awesome.
To be more like the original films.
That's really cool.
Really cool.
Did not even know that.
I know.
I'm learning all sorts of
Yep.
stuff today.
It's hard. It is a limitation that we build on ourselves, but it actually helps the scenes hold up and like we can be a little bit more consistent with our presentation.
Well, it's another one of those like really subtle ways that we're paying tribute to Fantasia.
Exactly.
Where sometimes people hear the name and then the immediate question is like, where is Mickey? Like, when are the brooms going to show up? And we've kind of been pushing to explain that this is more like a spiritual successor to Fantasia rather than just like a straight one-to-one cover of something that Walt did and did so well so many years ago.
Exactly, like rather than just like a port of the movie, basically. You know, they were more interested in something a little bit new when they approached us and encouraged us to be like, to take it out into different directions. But we didn't want to like be like, all right, let's abandon everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, that film meant a lot to a lot of the artists working on it, myself included, and we wanted to be like, all right, how can we keep some of the things that are like special about it and build those into really like how our game works and stuff. You know, the step left, step right, the zooming in on objects actually felt a lot like navigating through one of those original Disney films through your own motions.
Yeah, and
stuff,
at
which is
that
cool.
point, it's almost how the game feels.
Yeah.
And people have like a very strong connection to how Fantasia makes them feel, even if they're not able to recall specific instances. Like it's either Sorcerer's Apprentice or like there's hippos and tutus and I don't really know, but I know that I like it. Like it means a lot to me. And so there really is something about that, like that sense association that you have with the film, or like just the way that it makes you feel at your core.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like a lot of that came out of that original Mood Lake demo. I don't know if you guys showed that one.
Yep.
here.
We did.
Yeah, and that has a lot of that camera action. It's actually done all in 2D, and then we sort of, as we progressed, we moved that over and we're like, all right, can we build a progression, a storybook progression, but also keep it, but also make it more modern in terms of like representing stuff in 3 dimensions, and that's what sort of Lovebirds was like an updating of Mood Lake with a more narrative progression. Then we were like, all right, how do we make this more explorable, more of a gameplay experience for the player? And that's what Spirit Desert really is like going in, adding your own music, manipulating things, changing the scene as the player wants to, having more control over it.
Yeah.
And that's sort of where the game ended up going later on. But like we sort of established a visual style early on in those demos at a pretty highly polished level, so we could be like, okay, we're pretty confident we can execute that through different settings and different worlds and know what's
you've done
good,
it.
what's good about it.
I think you've done a great job.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you.
So yeah, here we have the press and some of the robots that are running around, and like a lot of these realms actually have a lot of really neat standout characters that you can sort of interact with too.
Yeah.
So you guys, like, what was designing those characters like?
Pretty fun, actually. Like, one thing is, like, when you're really early on in those levels, it's hard to sort of get a sense of, like, what's going to be fun and what's not going to be fun, especially when they're just in, like, box form or, like, no textures, no lighting or anything. And when you have characters to respond to, like the robots in Factory, like, when they're moving around and you're, like, knocking them over and stuff, even in the rawest form, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So we knew that, like, we wanted to get characters into as many of the scenes as we could, or make the scene more of a character, you know, like go both ways. And for the robot, we did like a whole bunch of designs for him, and we ended up with this like sort of weird, like almost, I want to say like an R2-D2 sort of unit thing, but like something that was a little bit more abstract. We had like sort of what I'd consider like robots, 2 arms on each side and like a face and stuff. And we actually backed away from that to make it a little bit more industrial, like he's a tool, like a potbelly stove sort of thing. Like you'll see a lot of the devices there are sort of industrial revolution, like pipes and gear works and magnets and stuff like that. We didn't want him so slick that it felt like he's got electronics in him or something. So we sort of dialed him back, put a fire inside of him, and that's part of like him changing colors and stuff, part of the gameplay, and then a torch that he could do busy work around the factory with, repairing stuff. So he's like a repair bot for that. I really love that original concept though. It's like so bizarro.
Yeah.
Thing is, it looks like that other, I always see it and I'm like, that other arm, it's like 2 arms facing the same direction, but the other one's actually just like a pipe that goes
just
in the
connected
back.
to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Which
really
is like
clever
he's
touch.
making some weird shape. But.
And Nanette, you had wanted to talk about the Yeti. You had initially suggested that the whole show just be about the Yeti.
The Yeti's gonna be a star. It's gonna get its own spin-off.
Yeah?
It's gonna be great. I have all the faith
Solo
in the
Yeti game?
which we'll probably show after a couple of these. But this is another picture kind of showing the transformation state of the Haven, which is the last realm we've revealed. This is like the lake monster that throws snowballs at you.
Yeah.
What was that all about? How did that happen?
I know.
The snowballs are eyeballs when you actually interact with them.
We had like, when we were first coming up with like ideas for the level, we would brainstorm like major elements for each of the scenes. So we were like, oh, we want to do a forest and have something where animals are camouflaging themselves in and out. That was like the very bare bones idea. And we were thinking about different ways that creatures can do that, whether it be the color, or in the case of like the night cat or the Yeti, like they do this disappearing, this like cloaking or hiding behind trees in impossible ways like the Yeti does. But Paul, one of our concept artists, had this other creature which was a hairy octopus, which was amazing. And it, like a snowy white hairy octopus that lives in the lake, and he like cracks out of it when the tree just disrupts him and stuff. And I just thought it was like the sweetest idea in the world. I saw his original drawings are just amazing. We'll have to dig them up, but like they're kind of gross looking.
That's awesome.
It
It's
just
really
looks like
cool.
it just looks like a big hairball coming to life.
It's really cool that like that's the only pitch you need. It's like, what if it's a hairy octopus?
Yeah,
Put it in the
Done.
game.
I don't think I've ever
Put it-
seen
ship it.
a well done woolly octopus.
No, very rare.
Yeah, very
find.
rare. But they, you know, like the animators did a great job with all of it, and like he tosses snowball. Actually, he slaps the ground now, revealing like his little minions around the world and stuff. But they did an amazing job getting him to like react and come to life and stuff. The animators and modelers and stuff, and he's like one of my favorites. And there he is, your favorite.
There's my favorite. It's the Yeti.
Old Mr. Dickens.
Are you just making up a fiction for these characters?
Jimmy Dickens.
Yeah, do you have like backstories for all of these characters?
Yes, for my fan fiction book, I've been weaving a story of all of these guys together.
I would love it.
The story is getting them to work.
Yes.
No.
It's important.
This one's been awesome. Like we've had like a bunch of different interactions for him, and like developing him and his cousin, the other Yeti, the red Yeti.
The K1.
But like the tech to like hide him behind trees and make him come out, that was like another thing that like it took a little while, but it's kind of magical when it's all working. He sort of pops out in different locations, right in your,
it's
right in
awesome.
your grill and stuff. And you're like, whoa, there he is.
People love those interactions. Like when we, even at the very earliest point where it's like, oh, there's this turtle, and if I touch the turtle and he did a thing. Like people like that very like simple reaction.
Yeah.
And I've only seen the Yeti like in internal playtests, and even when we've done that, it's been like jerks like Nick Chester who've seen it and done it all, and they're like, this is amazing. I love this guy. He is singing. That's perfect.
That particular character also responds to you. Some respond to you more than others. Like sometimes you're just messing with them in the case of the robots and stuff, and you can get some pleasure of just like causing mayhem yourself.
Yeah, that was like my first 3 playtests.
Yeah.
Was just hitting robots over
And
and
you're
over
like,
again.
okay,
Yeah.
is this all you got, guys?
Yeah, here's my $60 right now. Give me the game.
This is enough. All I need is a
That's
robot
all I
knocking
wanted.
down game.
That's all I wanted.
Domino robots. I'm in.
Ship it.
But like the Yeti actually like looks at you, and he's playing with you,
Yeah.
which is sort of a cool switch on it. He's like aware of your presence, and like teasing you.
Breaking the 4th wall of the game.
Or the 6th wall.
Or the 6th. Oh man, I haven't even
know what
counted.
So many
I haven't even
walls.
I
counted
don't
the
know.
walls.
I don't know if that even counts. So like I guess like there you can see in the background the transitions and stuff. Those are particularly tricky to do though. Like get everything to like jump out, hide, and show and stuff like that. But it pays off. It's like fun to do. We also realized in the desert that it was a lot better to have a lush surface than nothing to hit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, when you've got stuff to bump into and stuff, it's like we tried to get a lot of that in the game. The Lovebirds is absolutely full of stuff, you know, like every inch of it, which gives you a good sense of where your cursor is. And there's like, try to put as much reactive stuff into every scene as possible.
There's so much stuff.
So you always have like tons of toys and little things to figure out, and like encourage the player to sort of explore slowly through the world and stuff.
That still carries on. I mean, there's icicles in the haven.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of
exactly.
stuff to mess around with.
Yeah, the newspapers in the press, like all the little things.
Yeah,
that
the
are
bubbles
getting
that
around.
come out of the ink machine and stuff are all interactable, and that's what we've been doing a lot of lately, is like adding a little bit more depth, and then we'll add more depth there, and then the audio guys will be like, well, if you're gonna bother hitting the balls, they should make like this progressive sound so you can play them like an instrument.
Yeah.
So it goes back and forth, and
That's awesome.
you know, like each team sort of encourages the other to like make it sweet and add more depth. and
That's
stuff
really
to the
cool.
experience.
And we haven't shown anything beyond these levels, these realms that we've already shown. But things get even crazier
Yes.
from
Oh,
this
yeah.
point on.
Oh yeah.
Like the stuff that we've been looking at internally,
Yeah.
like the thing that we just demoed at Wheelie, I think
yeah.
a couple weeks ago,
that one's
is
hilarious.
straight up bonkers.
Crazy.
Yeah, those ones are fun when there's like no limit sort of on like that sort of stuff and zany. We wanted to get there too because it's just like fun to work on those like more wacky ideas and stuff and give them a place. But those characters are hilarious.
Has there been anything where someone's come to you and been like, it's too crazy?
No.
You're gonna dial it down.
No one's ever been like, including like the guys at Disney, they love that stuff.
Good.
They're really like proponents of like the more crazy ideas. So that's been a great part about working with them. They've never been like, whoa, we want it like more traditional or something. They've been pretty encouraging of like some of our wackier ideas and stuff like that, both musically and visually. So that's fun, you know, when they're pushing you guys, the team, to make up like Wackadoodle business.
Yeah, that was, I heard a working title for the
Yeah.
game.
Wackadoodle
For a
business.
while,
Fantasia
yeah.
musical.
Wackadoodle
Business.
Business Incorporated.
LLC. Yeah, we're going to file for that right now.
Oh, love it.
So you've got another event coming up.
I do.
Is that this Saturday?
It is November 9th.
Is that a thing that's open to the public?
Yeah.
Maybe?
It's in Finney Hall in Boston. So if you are around, it is a thing. It is the Classical Cartoon Festival. So we'll be there showing off Fantasia, giving people hands-on, which will be really fun. There'll be lots of kids and families there. So it should be pretty sweet.
And a bunch of live musical performances
Yes,
too.
there'll be performances. It is a local classical music station that's running it, so it seemed that our game would be a good fit for this event. So we're really excited to go. The performances and lots of other stuff to play around with, like coloring stations and things like that. And we'll be there to play the game with people, show them performance and a bunch of other stuff. So we'll post some pictures up on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It'll be fun.
I want to see
That's
those
awesome.
pictures.
Yeah. So good stuff. People are really enjoying the game though, so we cannot wait to show you more of all of the crazy wackadoodle business
Yeah.
that these guys have been working
If you want to see the
on.
crazier stuff, you can subscribe. We never learned where the button was, so it's
No,
somewhere up above. You can subscribe. You'll get updates for future shows. When we do Rock Band and Dance Central stuff,
Yeah.
digging through the archives, you'll get notices for those too. Just basically all the good stuff that we do. So you should subscribe to see that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all going to be as good as this show. They're going to be good.
I'm sure you have great guests lined up.
Not really.
I'm sorry.
Not really.
That's it. That's all the good
it's
people.
kind of we're coming up on a dry stretch.
Man.
So,
Remote Skype to Boggy.
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be good. So yeah, subscribe, because forget what I said about a dry patch, because things are going to get
No, we
so
have
much
so much to
better.
talk about. It's
Yeah.
There's
great.
going to be so much good stuff.
Yeah,
It's going to be good.
got.
There's a lot of people that work here that are fun.
That's true. That's
it's
true.
I don't know them,
No.
but I've heard.
Well, there's you.
Yeah, I'm not that
Yeah,
fun. As you've
well,
seen already,
Mm,
it's been sort of, well.
I've had fun.
Well, I appreciate
Yes.
it.
Had fun.
I
has
hope
been
you've
a blast.
learned something.
I have. I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any parting wisdom you'd like to share with people? Unless you have
I'm
more
tempted to
stuff
just
in it.
spoil the game.
Oh well,
Let's
just
not
go
do
right
that. Does
ahead.
anyone have questions in the
I'm
chat?
tempted to just spoil.
Do you want to speak to the resolution of the game? It's a hot topic.
Mm.
Hot button topic right now in the game world.
You mean finishing it?
The resolution.
The
The
resolution.
I get it. I get it.
What
What are we looking at?
what
720?
resolution? Like,
720? We at 1080p? What are we looking
Oh.
at?
on Xbox One.
That's all Pope cares about.
Oh,
wait, on Xbox One, I don't know if I'm breaking like 1,000 rules by committing to stuff that like some programmer is going to throttle me in a second. It will be in 1080p.
That is
On
correct.
Well,
on
it
the
sounds
one.
like you
On
just
the one.
you
There.
just
It
sealed
will.
their
Yeah,
fate.
Fact.
did it.
Fact.
Yeah.
No, it has to be. It looks so good on
It
that.
has to be.
It is. Confirmed.
I'll take all the
Yes,
content
whenever-
out if that's what it takes to run
Wow.
on 1080p.
Take my toys.
I'll
and
take
run.
the art.
I'm taking the toys and
It'll
going
run.
home.
There'll be no art, but it'll run like a dream. No, it definitely
Cool.
runs at 1080p. It looks gorgeous on that.
It's a good-looking
Colors,
game.
everything.
It's a real good-looking game.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
no
hope so.
BS.
I hope so. I mean, the team has been working really hard to make this game like.
We have had a lot of people come up
Snazzy.
to us at shows, like long-time Harmonix fans. They've been like, Beatles, most beautiful video game I've ever played. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the most beautiful game. Like, people have high hopes for Fantasia.
I hope so. Well,
they're putting it up there.
A lot of that is, I don't know if people know, but we're developing this one on a new engine. Like Beatles was our old engine. This is the new engine. And this new engine has a lot of tricks.
Yeah.
A lot of next-gen-y tricks. And by that I mean futuristic business.
Futuristic business.
Which has made it a much easier and a much more enjoyable experience to be able to bring that kind of detail and polish that you expect out of a top-notch video game in this day and age at 1080p.
This is even further out of your realm. Do you know if the audio is in 5.1 or 7.1?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good
boy.
question for the artist, Pope.
Not my question.
Jeez. Now I'm going to commit them to what is the most expensive of the audios?
Fantasy.
Yeah, Fantasound.
I wish.
We're gonna trot
That's
out
just for-
100+ speakers to your house.
You're gonna have to
buy
install.
100
there's a
loudspeaker
special bundle pack.
We don't even
I-
have a 7.1 set up anywhere in the company.
You don't want to say that. We're
No.
we're the music
Yeah.
gaming people.
We do.
It's surround.
It definitely is in.
It's surround.
It definitely is.
5.1.
Yeah. Wait, did you
Do you
just
want-
dial
do you want me
that
to
in?
I love that they're
Do you want
having
me
a
to say that into the
conversation.
mic, Joe? Do you want me to say that into the mic, or
Go ahead.
yeah?
Yeah.
You have 5.1 surround? Is that you're confirming? All
Yeah.
right, it's on Joe.
I don't want to sign somebody up
When
for
the
something
game
they're like,
shoots.
what have we done?
As the audio person on the engine team.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm almost positive that I've played the game in sweet surround.
Yeah, I know I've heard it in both ears. Like I played the game and I could hear in both ears at the same time.
That's stereo.
I'm pretty
and
sure.
if we're not hitting stereo, we're already doomed. Welcome to this music game. Now in stereo sound, baby. Mono.
There's a big
And
Victrola
color
playing.
this time, everybody. Razzle dazzle.
Please just bring those jazz hands to every show with us for the rest of time. That would be fantastic.
What other features do they want to know about? I'm willing to commit to anything. I can go back and argue with development. Listen,
Just went on the live stream. I signed
I
you guys
just
up
signed us up,
for a whole
baby.
mess of garbage.
What other features should we have in there?
They're wondering about 3D now.
Oh, I can confirm no 3D right now. Although I will say that we talked about it for a long time, but it is not in 3D right now. Right now,
Who knows what could happen by the time the game
you never
ships.
know. You never know. That would be special edition 3D.
Okay. Maybe DLC.
It's actually well suited for it, perhaps.
That would be kinda
But I
trippy.
think it's pretty expensive to the frame rate. You're basically re-rendering the game, so we've been concentrating on just getting a 2D game to look perfect, which is like, you
In
know,
1080p.
in 1080p.
And then you'll
In
patch
gorgeous
it. You'll patch it later then.
Yeah.
Okay,
Patch in
okay.
the 3D.
Patch in the 3D.
Update.
I'll add a D every year.
Day one
D
update.
every year.
1 D. Pre-order and I'll add a D to the game.
Throw some D's on it.
Annette, they want
What?
to know when we're going to announce more songs.
Yeah, what gives?
Man,
I want to know too, Annette.
so do I.
What songs have we committed to?
So we've committed to 6 songs.
6 songs.
7?
Queen.
Queen.
Yep, that's a good one.
Avicii.
Bohemian Rhapsody Levels.
Fun.
Some Nights by Fun.
Yep.
Settle Down by Kimbra.
What are the classicals?
Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven. And then classicals
Yeah,
we
Bruno
got.
Mars, the
He's a
classical,
classical artist,
jam.
as you know.
Night on Bald
Mountain
Mountain.
Mountain.
Oh my God, that song
And
is so good.
Vivaldi's
Vivaldi's-
Winter.
That song
the
is
Four
so
Seasons.
good too. Well,
And we'll talk about more songs when we are ready. But yeah, stay tuned to our social accounts.
We've announced a number of songs in the
Yes,
game.
there's more than 30 songs.
Yeah.
It's
So we've already announced a substantial chunk of the set
a
list.
lot, yeah.
And we've confirmed that the game is not coming out this year, so we
we
gotta
got some
stretch
time.
this stuff out a little bit.
Yeah.
Gonna make you wait for it.
So-
but if you subscribe, you'll get
You'll
updates
be the first to know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Annette,
Stay
a
tuned.
question from me. What's your favorite song in the game so far of the announced songs?
Winter is really fun by Vivaldi.
Yep.
I like the remixes a lot. It's like a crazy dubstep remix
Yep.
and like this weird surf rock kind of remix, and they are super duper fun to play. And it's a really fast song, and I really like that stuff. So
The classical
Into it.
songs are surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, they're my favorite too.
Yep.
They have they have these great huge jumps in the remixes that are really fun, and like Night on Bald Mountain is just like so powerful, and then you hear it in like, I don't know what the remix is, it's like Bayou Country or something. I don't know. I don't know. No,
I would go
it's
play that right now.
pretty crazy.
Caribbean, like Night on Bald Mountain.
Yeah, the remixes have been great, and the further they are from the original, the more I tend to like them.
Yeah.
Like the Bruno Mars, like the super ska version.
Yeah, exactly.
Is a blast. And
Yeah.
I do not care for the song at all, but I will play the ska version all day long.
Yeah, I find that a lot. Actually, there's some songs that I'm like, oh, whatever, but then you hear the remix and it feels like a totally new experience.
Yeah.
Like, sort of allows you to discover the songs again. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Could not tell you how many times we've heard Bohemian Rhapsody demoing Rock Band 3, but it's still fun to listen to it in Fantasia.
Yeah. I think it's one of the best things. I kind of wish it was in Rock Band. I wish you could just remix it live.
The remixing?
Yeah, I wish you just had a button on your guitar to
Just patch that in too.
throw it in. I will.
Yeah.
Tonight, I'll get going on that.
So yeah, to that point, those are the songs we've announced. We'll tell you more songs later. And maybe we'll hint around when we're getting close to that time. But for now, we don't know.
There's some fun songs though.
There are.
Like I don't know how much of what we've play tested will be in the final version of the game, but there's a couple of songs that I really like.
I think a lot.
And we will talk about them at a later date.
Okay.
Boy, you guys
TBD.
are no fun.
I know.
Yes, sorry.
I feel like just spoiling.
No information. So sorry.
I feel like just going on.
Anything
spoiler
else that we can
rage.
actually answer from the lovely people at home?
Bamani fan is going crazy, thanking us for following he or she on Twitter and would like a shout out from Annette.
What's the name again? Say it again.
Bamani fan.
Bamani fan?
Yep.
What up, Bamani fan?
Yeah, good shout out.
Yeah. We love you.
Shouldn't we be writing it on some piece of paper? Or
I
my
had some
belly?
paper.
We're not that prepared.
Shouldn't we be
Don't
writing
even-
it
don't
on
even have a
ourselves
pen
to really give
or
a
anything.
proper shout out?
Next show.
I don't know how
Next
these
show.
cam shows work.
Next show will just be a stream of shout outs.
Bring a
That's
notepad.
not a bad idea.
Just an hour long. People would tune in for that, Pope, actually.
Should write
That's not
that
a bad
down.
idea.
It's a good one.
Yeah, be like, H-Bomb, what up? Robo-Glez.
Yeah, because then people could use it as their.
Now Asaga wants you to plug Rock Band Nights.
Oh, Rock Band Nights. Oh, jeez. I feel like I do so much for Asaga already.
That's fair.
And I don't even know when the next one's coming up. Ah, jeez. So for people that don't know, Osaga is filling in at Rock Band-Aid. He's helping Tommy out. I've already said too much.
Yep.
Osaga's an awesome guy. He's helping out at Rock Band-Aid. He's running these community-organized Rock Band nights, helping to make sure that people are still playing and enjoying Rock Band, a game which has been out for 6 years. How
Yep.
crazy is that?
Like,
We just had the 3rd anniversary of Rock Band 3.
That is
2
crazy.
weeks ago. It's disgusting. It makes me want to throw up when I think about how much time it's been. But anyway,
I know that is actually
Osaga
insane.
doesn't make me want to throw up. He's a great guy. He organizes these Rock Band nights. You can follow Rock Band Aid on Twitter. They do some promo on Facebook as well. And then rockbandaid.com. That's Rock Band with an AIDE
know
at the
what?
end.
That is a great website.
It is really good.
It's actually in my favorites.
Yeah.
That is not a lie.
No, as it should be.
That
As
is
it
in
should
my
be.
favorites. It's actually the one that I follow.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Sasso approved.
That's a great website.
And we hook them up with a
do a
ton
nice
of
job.
DLC codes so they can do all sorts of giveaways to help keep the community engaged and interacting with Rock Band, even to this day, years after the fact. So good on you, Osaga. Shout out. Boom.
But,
Oh, you tell me to wrap it
That's
up,
it?
Pope? Is that too
Or there's
too
a
much?
tornado outside. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, what's that?
helicopter landing on the roof.
What's that hand side?
Both. Wrap
He-
it up because there's a tornado.
Okay, good.
You don't wanna-
Swirly
They get in
time.
the helicopter right
Swirling.
now.
Is that it,
that
Pope?
it? A wrap?
Showing up? Oh, wait, ah,
Oh.
what's up?